Okay, I'm very happy to have on the Goldstein on Gelt Show, Stan Haithcock, also better known as Stan the Annuity Man. Stan, real pleasure to have you.
Great to be on with you, Doug.
So I'll tell you, it's funny how we got together. I follow some of the articles you write on Market Watch, and one of them that really caught my eye was you said, don't fall for misleading annuity advertisements. And I thought that was interesting because I think a lot of times people get very excited about all the good stuff of annuities, and then they don't realize what's going on the back end. What did you mean by that?
Well, annuities are the last bastion of the unregulated world of investments. You really can say anything, promote anything, run any type of ad you want, and pretty much get away with it because annuities are regulated at the state level here in the United States, and there's not a lot of oversight. So there's a lot of misleading advertising, a lot of bait and switch, a lot of shiny things that they talk about. But at the end of the day, annuities are contracts. They're not investments. And so people need to be very aware of the contractual guarantees only before purchasing.
So describe that a little more in depth. When you say it's a contract and not an investment, aren't you giving them your money and hoping to get back more?
You are, but in most cases, it's a pure transfer of risk. Most annuities are set up for lifetime income. So you're giving the money to the annuity company in exchange for them to pay you for the rest of your life, regardless of how long you live. So in that situation, you really don't know what the return on investment or the ROI will be unless we know when you're going to die. Up until that point, it's a pure transfer of risk. So you're telling them, hey, I want you to pay me for the rest of my life, or me and my wife, or me and my spouse for the rest of our lives, and that's a transfer of risk. Even when you buy an annuity for principal protection, you're transferring that risk to the annuity carrier to protect your principal.
You keep referring to them as an annuity company or annuity carrier. Normally I hear people refer to insurance companies. Is there a difference?
There really isn't. Annuities are life insurance products issued by life insurance carriers, but they don't carry the same tax benefits as life insurance. The death benefits are taxable, whereas with life insurance, that passes tax-free to your beneficiaries and probate-free. But they are issued by life insurance carriers, life insurance companies, so that's where they come from.
So it's possible to get an annuity that is not issued by an insurance company and therefore doesn't have the same tax benefits?
No. Well, let me rephrase that. No from the insurance company, but there are such things as charitable gift annuities, and charitable gift annuities are annuities, but they're issued by nonprofits, 501c3s, hospitals, universities, places like that function just like an annuity that pays for lifetime income, except the underwriter in this case, instead of it being an annuity company, would be the actual nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the original question. You spoke about ads that maybe are a little bit too optimistic. What are some of the keywords someone should look for to know that maybe this is an unregulated ad that he should run away from?
Well, currently the two hot ones that I can point to is market upside with no downside. Number one, there is no such product on the planet, but that's a typical indexed annuity pitch. And indexed annuities are CD products, so you're not going to get anything but CD returns regardless of what you are told. The second one is I can get you 8% or 7% or 6%. And in a 10-year Treasury world where that 10-year Treasury in the United States is 2% or less, there's not some genius at an insurance company that's figured out how to get you 7. What that is an income rider, which is a separate benefit for income, but in essence, it's monopoly money and a phantom account that can only be used for income. Jimmy Carter is not back in office, and we don't have high percentage CDs. So this is kind of a bait and switch for people that are yearning for high rates, but those aren't real rates. That's not real yield. It's monopoly money that can only be used as a lifetime income stream calculation.
Yeah, that's like what I tell my clients. Stan, in my day job, I'm an investment advisor. In fact, I think you and I have a little background because we both worked at Dean Witter, Morgan Stanley, back in the day. And I often tell my clients what I learned from my mother, who was vice president at Dean Witter, and she said, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I think that's just what you're describing here, yeah?
Well, it's not probably as with annuities. It is every single time. The annuities, once again, you buy them for what they will do, not what they might do. You buy them for the contractual guarantees. If you come to me and say, Stan, I need some market return on my annuity, don't buy an annuity. And I know that just throws the variable annuity and indexed annuity dream slingers under the bus, but reality is reality. If you want market returns, do not buy an annuity. Annuities solve for 4 primary things, and the acronym is PIL. P stands for principal protection, I stands for income for life, L stands for legacy, and the other L is for long-term care. So principal protection, income for life, legacy, and long-term care. If you do not need to solve for one or more of those solutions, you do not need an annuity.
We're talking with Stan the Annuity Man, who I have followed on Market Watch, and we'll learn a little bit more in a minute about how you can follow him as well. Stan, let me ask you about one of the other great things that people often say when they buy an annuity. They say, look, I can get an upfront bonus. They're giving me money, which is really great in a time when the market is down. I know this is something you've written on too. Is that not a great deal?
It's not a great deal, and I want to be very clear about this. There's no philanthropist at annuity companies trying to figure out how to give money away to the masses. Everything costs, everything has a fee, and I always tell people, if you're buying an annuity for the upfront bonus, it's like going to a car dealership and buying the car for the stereo system. It's just part of a 6 or 7 piece of the contractual guarantee. Do we look at the upfront bonus? Yes, we look at it as a larger picture of the contractual guarantees, but we put no weight on it, and neither should you as an annuity consumer. Now, agents use the upfront bonus because they want you to think it's free money. They want you to think it's better. Annuity companies have the big buildings for a reason, Doug. They give nothing away. Everything is priced in. It's just one more shiny thing, and I really don't like it. I think it's a bait and switch. And in most cases, when we run contractual guarantees, the annuities without the upfront bonus are a better contractual guarantee than the ones with the upfront bonus.
No kidding. I often find that things, when they get more complicated and it makes it harder for the end user to calculate on his own, and he needs a professional to break it down and say, well, if you get the upfront bonus and you make this and you make that, at the end of the day you'll make some return. I feel that if, like the old acronym KISS, keep it simple, Stan. I think that once you find that they're adding in all these bells and whistles, there's got to be something that really makes should make people to look up and ask a lot of questions.
Well, two things I'd like to point out. Number one, never let an annuity agent show you hypothetical, theoretical, back-tested, projected, non-guaranteed return scenarios. Always make them show you the contractual guarantees. The other thing that I recommend people to do is when you're getting pitched an annuity and it sounds too good to be true, write down everything that agent says, sign and date it, flip that page around, and have that agent sign and date it. That pen will weigh a lot for that agent. Or if they sign it, they own it, and you have them. In most cases, when you do that, the truth of that pitch will come out.
You said contractual guarantees. Is there a place a person can look to just get the bottom line of what the guarantees are?
My site is one of the few that only looks at contractual guarantees. I do not look at anything other than worst-case scenarios because, again, I do not think that annuities are investments. I think they're transfer risk contractual products that should only be looked at for the contractual guarantees. Now, in this environment that we're in, where people are a little bit scared of the markets, doesn't mean you have to go all in on an annuity. You need to understand what you're solving for, and then go solve it contractually. And you have to keep in mind that you might not want to put all in right here in the annuity world, because annuities, especially the income annuities, are primarily based on life expectancy with the payouts, but they also secondarily look at interest rates. And there's arguments for interest rates to be high or low. Most people think they're low, but if that's the case, you might want to ladder your purchase date in.
Mm-hmm. What if you happen to have good genes? Your parents, your grandparents lived a long time, and you believe you will as well. You do that whole exercise thing and eat healthy. Does that just in and of itself make the annuity a better bet for you if you happen to have a lot of longevity in your family?
It does, because with a lifetime income guarantee, it's in essence making a bet with the annuity company that you're going to live longer than they predict you're going to live. And if you do live longer than that, then they are on the hook to pay you. So it's a life expectancy bet. So if you do have longevity in your family, then an annuity is going to be a great transfer of risk for you.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully they won't send out the goons to take you down once you've overstayed your welcome on the earth. Last question, then we'll wrap it up. A lot of times people say, well, I was told by my agent that I could buy an annuity in my IRA in order to protect my IRA. What do you say?
Well, annuities, once again, you look at them just for the contractual guarantees, so they can be purchased inside or outside of an IRA. Inside of an IRA, the taxation rules of an IRA applies, but a lot of people use annuities within an IRA especially the new QLAC, Qualified Longevity Annuity Contract, to lessen their RMDs, required minimum distributions, and have a future income stream. So they do work in specific situations with IRAs, but once again, you should only look at what you're trying to solve for. If income is what you're trying to solve for, then inside of your IRA can work with either a traditional income annuity or a qualified longevity annuity contract, which is a new annuity that just came out in 2014 that can lower your RMDs and give you a lifetime income stream.
You know, I like the term that you keep using, which is you need to use an annuity to solve a specific issue. And I think that goes across the board with investments as well as annuities, which is don't try to invest just because you've seen an ad or someone's trying to sell something to you, but rather figure out what you actually need and find the right tool to help you achieve your goals. Stan, we are just about out of time now, but in the last few seconds, tell us, how can people follow you and follow your work?
The easiest way to go to my website, StanTheAnnuityMan.com. You can get free books, see videos, you can get Comdex rankings of all the carriers, you can see free quotes without having to sign up. It's very consumer friendly, so StanTheAnnuityMan.com.
All right, and we will put a link to that at the show notes of today's show at GoldsteinOnGelt.com. Stan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Doug.
You are listening to the Goldstein on Gelt Show with money maven Doug Goldstein. Doug's weekly radio show is heard around the world, but if you miss it, you can download the podcast at www.goldsteinongelt.com. The Goldstein on Gelt Show gives you up-to-date financial ideas so you can get on the path to financial freedom. If you'd like your questions answered on the air or off, send Doug an email to doug@profile-financial.com. It's your money for your future, so join Doug every week to build your wealth on the Goldstein on Gelt Show.